today's episode, you're gonna learn how I booked a trip for under $2,000, traveled to 2 continents, and explored 5 different countries. Okay, so I know some of you may not be traveling because of the coronavirus, but stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Whew. I know this channel has been a long overdue. It's really getting real, but I did want to put out this information so you can know how to plan ahead. Thank you all so much for tuning into Shari Chinyoung Kassin's Budget Travel. Now, as some of you may not know, my husband and I decided to travel in 2015 when we quit our jobs, and we really just wanted to explore the answer to this question, which is, what inspires you the most about life and living? We took this question to countries all around the world. I believe it was about 25 different countries. We interviewed over 200 people, and through that, your girl tabbed everything from where we stayed, how much we spent, our flights, the food we ate, even the people that we met. And that's what this channel is going to be about. So you guys just sit back, tune in, and on today's episode, you're gonna learn how I booked a trip for under $2,000, traveled to 2 continents, and explored 5 different countries. So first things first, I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to book an amazing trip. So tip number 1 is, let's be real with yourself. You have to look at your budget. Look at how much you're willing to spend, and you have to be honest, because this can be money that you may not be able to get back, but you will earn through experience. So as you look through your budget, look at the things that you're still going to have to spend while you're traveling, such as if it's your rent, your car insurance, your phone bill. If you're a business owner, think about those ongoing expenses that still has to be paid regardless if you're there or not. Once you set aside and look at that, then you say, okay, this is the extra money I have left over. What can I do with it? So that's what we decided to do. Dana and I knew that we wanted to travel to Ghana and Europe, but we also knew that coming from the United States and jumping all the way to Africa can be a grip. We've been traveling to places such as Miami for only $30. We've been to Southeast Asia for less than $500. We've been to Abu Dhabi for $200 round trip. But when we decided to go to Africa, it was a whole nother story, so we had to adjust our budget. So think about it. Think about your budget and be real with yourself. Write it down. Write down your extra expenses. Tip number 2, think about your duration. How long are you able to travel? Not how long you want to travel. How long are you able to travel? Some of us have jobs. Some of us work from home. Some of us have a lot of free time. But like I said from the beginning, you have to be real with yourself and look at the calendar and see. Now, I know a lot of times there are some flight deals that pop up randomly, and some of us who work from home, like myself, we're able to hop on those deals and we can travel and work from wherever. But if you're not at that point, it is okay. Just remember, tip number 1, figure out your budget. Tip number 2, how long can I travel? What I like to do is look at my calendar, really take advantage of all the apps that are already given to you, like your Google Calendar and your notes, and write these things down. Number 3, decide where you want to go. Like I said before, what I like to do is look at the apps that are already given to me. So I look at the map. I study the map pretty often, and I look to see like how close are these surrounding countries and continents around the places that I want to go. Because if I'm already in Africa, that means I'm just not too far from Europe. I booked my flight from Atlanta to New York, from New York to Paris, from Paris to Spain, from Spain to Ghana. Yes, it was a long journey, but I was still able to hit up those countries, and that's not what I'm including in my 5-country journey. This is where I say look at the map, because if you want to go to multiple places, you can look on the map and you can decide, okay, so I know that I want to go to Africa as well as Europe. That's a big jump, right? If I was trying to keep a tighter budget, then I can probably stay more so in one continent and have more to spend with my money, but we wanted to do more than one continent, so we decided to pick Africa. We looked at the map and we saw that we can go to Spain, and from Spain we can travel within Europe. So look at the map. That's like major key, because once you're in the country, you can then look at local airlines and you can get very cheap flights. And sometimes on the USA end, if you're watching from the United States, it's not going to pull up all the small airlines. You know that you're going to Spain, look at the surrounding countries around it, because you never know how cheap it is for you to fly from Spain to Italy. AKA, I flew from Spain to Italy for only $33 round trip. So that brings me to my other tip, tip number 4, which is use apps. So I use Skipplagged when I'm booking my flight. I also use Google Flights, and I also use but what I also do is keep my windows on incognito. Now let me tell you why this is important. Incognito window is super important simply because you don't want the airlines or the app that you're using to track your cookies. And when they track your cookies, they can see that, okay, so Shari's looking for a flight to go to Ghana. I saw that she was looking on Tuesday. Then Shari uses her phone again and she looks it up on Wednesday. They're tracking to see how much I'm looking up this flight. Therefore, they start to put a filter on what they actually show me. So once my window's on incognito, it's blocking them off from seeing what I'm actually searching. And that's important when you're using multiple devices, especially when you're using Apple devices, because I've noticed that my iPhone is connected to my laptop. So the things that I was searching on there, they're all connected because my email address is connected to all that. So once everything's on incognito, I'm blocking all the haters out the way. Let me tell y'all, it took me forever to find this, actually, because I kind of broke down the flight into increments. I knew that I wanted to go to Spain, so what I did was I booked a flight from Atlanta to Spain, and then from Spain to Ghana, and then from Ghana to Spain, then from Spain to the United States, back over here. And when I clumped them all together, it ended up being cheaper than me trying to get a direct flight all the way to Ghana. So my first half of the flight was $500 round trip. From Atlanta to Spain was $500 round trip. In between that flight, I did Spain and Ghana, which was only, I think, $300. So I was able to save on that. And once I got to Spain, I was able to fly with Ryanair, and I was able to use FlexBus and travel to different places for under $100. I'm telling you, flights were literally like $10, $20. Our FlexBus was less than, some of our FlexBus was like $5. Can you believe that? I was able to go from different city to city for under $5, and if I would decided to go to another country, it would cost me about $25. And know that once you're in the country, you're typically going to get a different price, because they're looking at, like I mentioned before, your cookies, and they're looking at your location. And once you're there, I remember being in Budapest and I was booking my flight to Italy, and it was very cheap because I was already in the country. So tip number 5, when you're booking your flight, book on a credit card. I can't tell you how important this is. Even if you have the money, book on a credit card, I use Chase Sapphire card because they do give travel insurance when you're flying with them. So if anything were to happen, I can always cancel my flight. Of course, there are stipulations with it, but a lot of credit cards offer travel insurance when you're booking when you're booking using your credit card, especially with any other airlines. I know a lot of people that I know use Delta as their credit card to book their flights, and also it's a great way to gain rewards. Okay, so I know some of you may not be traveling because of the coronavirus, but just keep all these tips in mind. I'm hopeful that eventually we're going to be able to go back and travel. I'm hopeful that this is all going to blow over. And I'm also hopeful that we're going to actually start using our money wisely. I know a lot of us may have lost our jobs and we still want to travel, we still want to go out, we still want to explore. So this is a great way. So number one, tip number two, tip number three, tip number four, and tip number five. I thank you all so much, especially this is my first video, and I want you all to like, subscribe, comment, and get ready for the new video next week. Appreciate you all.
Imagine what it would be like to travel the world, explore new things, discover different cultures, languages, eat yummy food, discover yourself, love, all on a budget. Explore it. Learn about how I'm traveling the world on a budget. Budget travel. Shari Chinyang Cass.